Tonight, as the president appears to distance himself from the deaths of 4 American soldiers in Niger.
It's a dangerous business. So what? No, I didn't. Not specifically. But I have generals that are great generals. These are great fighters. These are warriors. And I gave them authority to do what's right so that we win.
Senior intelligence and military officials are now telling NBC News the Trump administration is in the process of deepening our military involvement in Africa, quietly paving the way for lethal strikes against terrorists in Niger, with a plan to arm Reaper drones that fly over the country. U.S. counterterrorism documents show the French have already decided to arm their Reaper drones for use in the region.
Having armed drones in Niger would be a big deal. It would be an expansion of U.S. capabilities, and it would demonstrate clearly that the U.S. is expanding its sense of the war on terror battle space.
The U.S. is constructing a $100 million airbase in Niger. The plan is to position the armed drones there. And the death of the 4 U.S. soldiers has accelerated pressure on the Niger government to allow it, according to U.S. officials. NBC News is also learning more details of what happened on the day that the Green Berets were killed. Multiple military and intelligence sources tell NBC News there was a second, more secretive U.S. Special Operations team working less than 100 miles away from where the ambush took place. It would be intelligence like this that would provide targets for any new drone campaign. All of this, Lester, underscoring the complicated nature of the Niger mission and may explain the difficulty the Pentagon has had in answering basic questions about what went wrong even 3 weeks after the incident.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.